Tips rolling?
No.
Hi, Madonna.
Hi.
Bedtime stories, it sounds so nice and gentle to me.
And cozy.
And cozy, yes. Have you become a more kind of loving, mature, cozy person?
Oh, I hope not. No, but I guess that's the kind of mood I was in when I was writing the album.
But you're not anymore.
No, it's not that. It's just that I think that my personality has many different sides to it. So sometimes I feel aggressive and sometimes I feel more thoughtful and introspective, and I would say that that's more the mood that I was in when I was making the album. More romantic.
And the mood right now?
What is my mood right now? Maybe it's a little bit of both. Yeah.
If I understood you right, you wanted to kind of change the stereotype ways that men and women are treating each other. Is that right?
Yeah, that's one of the things, yeah.
So what did you want instead of what we have now?
Well, precisely that basically that women were judged by the same set of rules that men were, and that women had the same freedoms, the same kind of privileges and opportunities that men do. Yeah. And because women, I know it's not, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a long time coming, but that is something that I would want.
But it's not like that now. I mean, you've been punished. You say yourself you've been punished.
Yes.
Why have you been punished?
For that reason. For precisely why, I mean, what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. But what did you do that was so threatening to people?
Nothing that lots of other men haven't done. But the fact is, we still live in a society where men make the decisions and men decide what, you know, how women are to behave and what's permissive in society as far as sexuality is concerned. Mm-hmm. And men dictate those principles. And I suppose when a woman steps forward and says, well, here's my idea, or this is how I see it, this is my sexual fantasy, etc., etc., I think that frightens a lot of people. I think it frightens women too, not just men. So,
Jag känner mig så överraskad av Madonna. Hon är pytteliten i verkligheten och bräcklig på något sätt. Lågmäld och eftertänksam. Jag hade väntat mig att hon skulle vara mer amerikanskt gåpåig och provokativ.
Speaking of you as a role model, I mean, when you're talking you sound as a feminist, any feminist. But what's new with you, I think, is that you say you can use anything to get what you want. You can use your sex appeal, you can...
Well, you can use what you're good at, whatever that may be. You know, if you're a clever person, then that's what you should use. If you're a funny person, then you should use your humor. You know, it's whatever your strength is. So what you have to do is to find out what your strength is, and then use it.
And if you have beautiful tits, you should use them.
Absolutely.
And that's what you did.
Well, I don't think I just used that, but I think that one shouldn't negate or, you know, that side of them. It's not, I don't think that you have to ignore your sexuality or your sexual charisma or whatever you want to call it. I don't think that's a negative thing if you want to get ahead in life, so to speak.
So what's the difference between you and a striptease dancer?
I'm richer.
Why?
I guess I've used more of my assets.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you give advice to young girls who don't know how to behave themselves in this world, would you say to them...
Who don't know how to behave themselves?
Yeah, I mean, who does when you're young? So would you say, use whatever you have? I mean, if
I would say be true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, you know, I mean, a lot of it has to do with self-respect. If you have no dignity about yourself and no self-respect and you go out on stage and take your clothes off, then that is message that you're communicating. It depends on your own self-possession and how you feel inside. So I would say that that's the important thing. I mean, I have many things to say and many ways to express myself. If I am just simply in the act of taking off my clothes and doing a striptease, then I am exactly the same as a striptease artist. But if I have something to say, or I write a song, or I'm performing on stage, or I'm dancing, or I'm acting in a movie, then that adds another dimension to who I am.
When you have lived out your fantasies like you do in this book, do they still turn you on afterwards?
Well, I don't think that fantasies have to be necessarily lived out. I mean, I was saying these are my fantasies. I wasn't saying this is what I'm going to go out and do. I think having sexual fantasies and having a lot of them is really healthy. All I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with having sexual fantasies. And it's good to have an active imagination and to play in your mind and feel comfortable with them. And the things that I wrote about in my book do still turn me on.
After the sex book and some other things that you did.
Some other things?
Yes, I won't go into that.
Like what?
Well, like your tour and everything.
Girly show?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What did you find out about human nature?
Well, I realized what a taboo subject it is, the subject of sex or sexuality, and how kind of backwards we are in our way of thinking as far as sexual politics are concerned, and how sexist our society still is, and how frightened people are of change, things that are different.
You're saying that you're not sorry, but apparently a lot of people didn't get the message. Well, what went wrong?
Well, when I say I'm not sorry, what I mean is I'm not sorry that I did it. What I am disappointed that people didn't understand what I was trying to say. What went wrong is precisely what I was saying that I realized, and that is that I think it was just too much for people to get all at once with, you know, all the things that I was doing at once. It was too much,
so
too soon, too different. Yeah.
So if you were going to do it today, you would do it maybe a little smoother?
I probably wouldn't have released my album and the book right at the same time. I probably would have spread things out a bit, but I tend to get work in a frenzy, and as soon as I do something, I want to get it out, so, yeah.
I see your sex book as a kind of almost handbook. You say, these are my sexual fantasies, they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have yours, and they're also okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of a Dr. Ruth of the pop world to me.
Well, I never thought about it like that. I would rather, I mean, Dr. Ruth, she's a doctor, people call her up for advice. I mean, there's a real exchange like that. I would rather think of myself as a source of inspiration rather than someone who's telling you what you should or shouldn't do. And rather think of myself as setting an example by what I'm doing.
A lot of people think that you would do anything, but you have definitely limits. I mean, you wouldn't go any further. You wouldn't take any beaver shots.
Well, that's not necessarily true. That's the decision I made for the book. Actually, I had a contractual agreement with the publishing company, and my limits are. I mean, people think that I would do anything. The people that think that I would do anything are people who aren't paying attention to my message and aren't listening to what I say. And everyone has limits. Like I said, as long as I'm being true to myself and I'm saying what I want to say and I'm getting my point across, then that's my limit. Yeah.
So what direction are you taking now?
In terms of music?
In terms of everything, you seem to do everything all the time.
Well, I'm mostly concentrating on my record and my music, and well, I guess you'd have to listen to the record to understand. But it is a more thoughtful record, it's a more romantic record, and don't know. Like we were talking in the beginning of the interview, I guess I'm looking to make myself happy in another way, which is in making myself happy.
So how is that, to be more specific?
Recognizing my achievements and maybe not being so hard on myself, but spending more time enjoying my success, relaxing, things like that. Spending more time with my friends.
And you are doing that too?
Yeah.
Is it hard because you seem to have been a workaholic?
Yes. Actually, it's not as hard as it used to be. I used to be really frightened to have some free time. You know, nothing to do, unplanned days, stuff like that used to really freak me out. But now I kind of like it.
Happiness lies in your own hands, you think. Where did you think it was before?
Well, I would say that in general, it's most people's habit to look to other people and expect other outside situations to make you happy, and when you're not happy, to blame it on someone else or something else. And I would say that I was right along with that line of thinking. So,
And now you're not.
well, I'm trying not to be that way. Yeah.
And what gave you this insight?
Life, learning, making mistakes, just experience.
Mer konkret än så vill hon inte gå in på sina erfarenheter. Madonna har ju mer än någon annan bokstavligt talat klätt av sig inför press och publik. Och ändå känner jag ju längre intervjun pågår att hon inte släpper någon in på livet. Allra minst journalister.
When I saw the film In Bed with Madonna, I saw it now very recently once again. I got the feeling that you were very kind of trapped in your fame and lonely.
Well, that's two different things. I think celebrity, to everyone, not just me, is a kind of a trap, because while you have the privilege to, you know, go where you want and meet who you want, and everyone knows who you are, and people appreciate your work and things like that, it's the other side, the negative side is that you can no longer just go for a walk on the street or be an observer of humanity, be anonymous, just, you know, do things spontaneously. You have to plan everything, and so that side of it is a trap. For instance, I'm in the beautiful city of Paris, but it's not really easy for me to go outside for a walk, which I'm dying to do, without getting into an elaborate disguise or, you know, having my drivers in the front and having a decoy. I mean, it's really complicated. So that's the trap side of it.
And you can't kind of hide yourself in a wig? And,
yeah, I can, but it's not spontaneous. I mean, I have to go through an elaborate process of not being me. And the loneliness part of it, I would say, comes from maybe simply that, you know, longing to go out and do things anonymously, and sometimes it's just too difficult, and you don't want, it's easier to stay in your room.
Dad, you can come in, but I gotta get dressed. Come on in. Hi. I better take off my sleigh clothes. Hi. 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 Oh, God. Sorry. Stop. Sorry. Let me change, okay?
Sure.
Did you like the show?
It's great. A couple of little scenes there were a little...
X-rated.
You can do without.
Right.
Burlesque.
Dad,
Burlesque.
you don't understand. They all lead to something.
I know they're arty.
It's got nothing to do with art.
It's got nothing to do with art.
It's the journey that you go on. It's
You get on this train at the beginning, you have to stay on to the end.
Exactly, you take a journey. It's cathartic.
To me, it didn't seem as if you got a lot of encouragement and recognition from your father. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Are you still seeking it?
Not so much. I think I have come to terms with that and realized that my father feels more comfortable just kind of ignoring the celebrity side of my life and the fact that I'm this big superstar, or whatever you want to call I think it helps him to just treat me like all my other brothers and sisters if he just
ignores that
Yeah.
you're famous.
yeah.
But you've had a deep wish that he would see you as you are.
I have.
Including
I
this.
have, but you know, my father was raised a different way. He has different values. He's very traditional and old-fashioned.
So it's not a kind of private battle you fought in public, all the things you've been doing?
That's what an artist does. I mean, that is, you know, if a painter feels a certain kind of pain, he expresses himself on canvas. A songwriter, through his song, I mean, I think that you can't help but put some piece of your soul in any kind of work you do. And so, in a way, it's kind of therapeutic.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people also think that you reveal everything about yourself. But I don't think you do that at all. I think I know very, very little about you. Are you a shy person?
I can be, yeah.
Do you yourself think that you've revealed a lot?
I've revealed when I want to reveal.
But have you revealed a lot about yourself? I mean, do people know a lot about you?
No. Mm-mm. The only people that know a lot about me are my close friends.
So I'm going to put a very, very short questions, and if you want...
And I'll give you very short answers.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
can.
We're gonna have to end in a couple of minutes.
Okay, yeah. So, what are you most proud of?
I am most proud of the fact that I've maintained my sanity and my sense of humor in spite of everything.
And what do you regret?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Mm.
Lucky you. What turns you on?
Honesty.
You had several abortions, you said. How many?
I don't think that's necessary to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's relevant. Why do you want to know?
No, because it says several, and several sounds so much to me, you know.
Well, some people think that two is several. It depends on your point of view.
Okay. And condoms, what do you think of them?
I think they're essential. Yeah.
You had a very interesting discussion with Norman Mailer about condoms, and it all kind of ended up in condoms are no good because then you get more careless with who you sleep with, so...
Well, it's a very complex discussion.
Yeah.
There are many sides to the story, so it's hard to... If you have several hours, we can talk about it.
Okay. But do you really think that you should only make love to someone that you're willing to risk your life for?
No, I just think that in general, it's better to be in love with someone.
Children? You want to have children?
Yes.
Are you not afraid that years are ticking and, you know, all that?
I guess so, yeah.
Are you in love with someone?
Oh, I think I am.
You look as if you are.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, am I blushing?
So are
My
you
hands are getting sweaty.
So are you happy with this love? I mean, is it... does he love you?
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't feel like jumping.